the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome everybody to the 1 o'clock, April 21st, 2025 general session of the Southampton Town Trustees. Welcome to the folks that are on Zoom. I'll ask the Secretary Treasurer to call the roll, please.
Scott Hartz.
I'm here.
Ed Warner. Chip Marin.
Here.
Joe McLaughlin.
Here.
Matt Parsons.
Here.
All right, thank you. Next meeting, Monday, May 5th, 2025, 9:30 a.m. work session, followed by, I'm sure, lengthy executive, as seems to be the tradition around here these days, and then May 5th, 2025, 1 p.m. general session. We have some communications that we've received. I'll dispense with reading them. You all have them at your leisure.
I get a second on that.
Seconded, Trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, public portion. If there's anybody here on Zoom that wants to address the trustees for a few minutes on any issue, please put your hand up. Somebody that's in the audience here that wants to address the trustees, I see there's a hand up here. If you could go to the podium, sign in, state your name for the record. We'll give you a few minutes to speak to the trustees under the public portion period.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael Medio. I live at 480 Blank Lane in Watermill and have since May 15th of 1993, 60-year resident of the town. I come before you today to ask that you reconsider your position on eliminating the 3 boat slips at Woolly Dock in favor of a 25-foot fire department boat owned by, or will be owned by, North Sea Fire Department. I was one of the first 3 people to submit their paperwork when those slips became available in the year 2000. My paperwork submitted. I was one of the first 3 to submit their paperwork and was thereby granted a slip at the Woolly Pond Dock. At that time, I was told that there was no expiration of this, and that I would have this slip as long as I remained a town resident and my boat fit the criteria of being 25 feet or less. And in fact, the cover letter every year that I received, and I quote, says, "Please note, as long as nothing has changed since last year, you should receive the same slip location. However, the trustees reserve the right to assign a different slip depending on certain circumstances. You must submit the renewal application as required every year." So the circumstances now are that the fire department needs a boat and a 25-foot boat. So to eliminate 3 slips for 1 fire boat just doesn't seem practical to me. My boat takes up 8 feet of a 90-foot stretch between the inside corner of the bulkhead to the pinch point at the marina, which I'm fairly certain you're all familiar with. I've been there, I've measured it. I believe someone else has measured it because now I'm seeing new chalk lines on the dock. I see some green chalk, some blue chalk. From the right side of my slip, the starboard side, to the pinch point is to the green marker that was there is 68 feet. And then there's another 20 feet to the pinch point. Theoretically, North Sea Fire Department put a 55-foot boat in there with outboard engines that come up 3 feet from the back. I still would be in no way, shape, or form interfering with them. I've spoken to several of their members. They know where my boat is. And they said, "Mike, you're not in our way. We don't have to go around you. We don't have to worry about you when we're backing in. You're taking up 8 feet of 90-foot stretch." I pulled my boat out of a marina in Shelter Island when I got this slip to be more centrally located. I grew up on Roses Grove Road, spent my first 25 years there, and the last 35 in Watermill. So that's where I like to boat, the Peconics. And I also bought a custom set of marine-grade aluminum stairs to get me to the boat because there wasn't safe passage to the boat at the time. I submitted a request to the trustees to be allowed to put that set of stairs on the bulkhead so I could safely get to my boat, and I was granted permission to do that. Now, here we are 4 years later, I can't get a boat slip. I can't get back where I was. It's going to take me out of boating, one of my lifelong passions.
Right. All right, well, you finished? Because I wanted to give you.
Yeah.
Okay, because we went down there, Secretary Treasurer Warner, myself, we went down there. I mean, first, let's say, public safety and the fire, as you and I have had conversations, is paramount. So your proposition or ask to go back to 3 slips is, not going to get any traction for me. Not going to get any traction from myself. Public safety is number one. But that being said, we did take measurements, and I think that there is a manner by which we can all harmoniously provide a slip there for your vessel. You were the first. The other 2 have opted out. There's only room for 1 vessel plus the fire district vessel. That way you have ample space for providing what the district needs, the fire department needs. And again, I make no bones about it. My son's a volunteer fireman. I care about that. He's a city fireman. Public safety at this level is paramount. But that being said, the spot that you're in, you did invest in as well, to your point. And I think that your vessel can be there and it can harmoniously exist with all entities in the area for enjoyment of the water. And that's what we stand for. So I see this as not an issue. And I would advise the board that, it could occur with 1 slip, not 3. It's not going to work with 3.
No, I understand. I think we had that conversation that one of the gentlemen moved to South Carolina permanently, and the other one didn't pull his boat out.
Yeah, it's not going to work with 3. But we could have public safety, fire, and somebody in the slip, and you were the first person to put your hand up, and you did.
May I ask a
Sure.
question?
Sure.
You realize the trustees own the boat slips, so that
I do.
that your right there to be there is not an absolute permanent right. If they deem that they want no slips there, commercial slips, residential slips, they have that right.
I understand. I was just reiterating what I was told by,
Well, I just
Past
wanted to make
trustees.
sure you understood that.
No,
that
I
you
understand.
don't have a right that.
Sometimes misinformation, it kind of, infiltrates the system, and I think it's good to set the record straight. Look, we're trying to get people, to your point, to be able to access the water and use that. And in this instance, we're trying to have public safety at the same time. This can work. With 1 slip in the boat, it can work. With too many, it's not going to work.
I
So,
agree.
I'm
I was
good with
here
it.
today to ask for mine, knowing that those other 2 gentlemen weren't coming back.
We know that. So the board, yeah, we've been advised of that. So I think that, I think it can work. Trustee Secretary Treasurer Warner and myself went there.
Looked at the situation and slip number 1, which was yours previously. Your boat is perpendicular to the bulkhead, and the fireboat's gonna be parallel, so it's not gonna interfere with the parking of the fireboat or anything else that's going on in that area.
That's been my position.
Right.
I thank you for taking the time out of your day to go there, to listen to me here.
Joseph, you good?
No, I just, it is my area, and I'm glad that we were able to find a reasonable compromise and a conclusion to this, so.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate everybody's input, and
I think it was looked at, from every aspect and every perspective. I just want to see people safely, peacefully enjoying something that's supposed to be a
I got you.
resource of relaxation, right?
I
Not
got you.
aggravation.
I got you. No question.
Okay.
I got you.
So the next step is.
I'll be the first one to give extra firemen a ride out to a fire if they need it.
God bless the first responders and the firemen and the EMTs, whatever we can do. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else want to address the trustees for public portion, Zoom? Ma'am, you have something that's preserving? Okay. That being said, let's go to the applications for permits. I have trustee resolution 2025-108. It's OK McLean for Alexandra Nalaj 34 Mineola Court, tax map 900-345-1-48.1. I recommend its approval.
Second?
Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Trustee Resolution 2025-109, bless you. application for Barrel Place Partners LLC, 12 Barrel Place, Shinnecock Hills, Suffolk County, tax map 900-271-1-47.1, body of water, Shinnecock Bay. We worked on this on several of our work sessions. I believe I believe it makes all the Blue Book standards, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Trustee Resolution 2025-110, it's a first renewal application for Maloney Living Trust, 13A Lighthouse Road, Hampton Bay, Suffolk County, tax map 900-347-1-21, body of water, Shinnecock Bay. It's a renewal of a previously approved application, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2025-111, tax map number 900-102-3-14.32. This is the body of water of Hayground Cove. This is a dock construction of a 40-foot, 4-foot by 20-foot ramp and a 40-foot fixed with a floating dock. Can I have a second on that?
Second. Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2025-112. This is an application of the Huron Trust in Job's Lane, Bridgehampton, tax map number 900-134-1-39.11. This is a body of water in Sam's Creek. This is another timber walkway that we discussed in work session. Could I get a second on that?
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2025-113. This is tax map number 900-4-1-57. Body of water is in Dug Lagoon and Noyak Creek. This is a renewal permit, third renewal.
I'll second that.
Second. on
Seconded
that.
trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. 2025-114. This is application of Thomas Strauss, 1108 Flying Point Road, tax map number 900-178-2-7. The body of water is Mecox Bay. This is another fixed pier of 83 foot and a 22-foot ramp.
I'll second that.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Trustee Resolution 2025-125. This is final renewal application of Diane Cummings, 250 Joe's Lane, Bridgehampton, tax map number 900-134-1-43.2. This body of water is Swans Creek.
Seconded, all in favor?
Resolution 115. This is application of 271 Millstone Brook Road, North New York. That's at 900-23.001 by water, Bullhead Bay. Can I have a second?
Second on that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2025-116. This is application for Southampton Lane, Tuckahoe. The contact map 905-155-2. 110 by water, Cold Spring Pond. Have a second.
Second.
Second trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. I have trustee resolution 2025-117, application of Library Avenue Owners Corp. at 35 Library Avenue in the village of West Hampton Beach, Suffolk County tax map number 905-155-2-10 on a Dug Canal in Moneyball Creek. Can I get a second on this, please?
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
All right.
Trustee Resolution 2025-118, second renewal application of Michael and Marisa Leister, 541 Main Street in Queog, New York, Suffolk County tax map number 900-378-1-15.1 on Quantuck Bay. Could I please get a second for this?
Second.
Seconded trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2025-119, notice of public hearing for Ashkana Lasco, 12 Bayview Drive East, Noyak, Suffolk County, tax map 900-9-2-21, body of water, Sag Harbor Cove. We're going to have a public hearing. It's scheduled for May 19th, 2025 at 1 PM in Town Hall. So I recommend its approval. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded, trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Resolution 2025-120, trustee roads for contracts to road improvements. For the amount, well, there's two of them here, $23,000. Am I correct reading that? Paving
we're going
Circle
from-
Beach, that's our share of Circle Beach in Noyak, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second it.
Seconded, all by trustee Marin, all in favor?
Aye.
2025-121, authorized payment of reimbursement to the town of Southampton for Circle Beach paving for the amount of $23,000. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded, trustee Marin, all in favor?
Trustee Resolution 2025-122, resolution authorizing the Board of Trustees to waiver the 2025 trustee event permit application fee of $400 for Eastern Suffolk Ducks Unlimited.
Just one clarification before we pass this, we need to amend the location. Right, this location on this has been, is going to be amended to Tiana Activity Center.
Oh, okay.
So,
You have to make a motion for that.
Motion to amend it to read, instead of East Landing.
to Tiana Activity Center.
To Tiana Activities Center.
Okay, second, all in favor?
There should be a motion to amend, then the actual amendment.
Right, so the motion to amend, I'll make the second, all in favor? Aye, and then
Ed's made the amendment,
Yep.
second to the amendment.
Second.
seconded, all in favor? Aye, we're done with that, now on
Now the
the,
resolution as amended.
Resolution is amended. Authorizing the Board of Trustees of Town of Southampton to waive the 2025 trustee event permit application fee of $400 for Eastern Suffolk Ducks Unlimited. The Eastern Suffolk Ducks Unlimited requests permission for hosting a beach barbecue at Tiana Bayside Friday, May 9th, 2025 from 3 PM to 10 PM.
yeah, Tiana Activity Center, yeah. Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor? Aye, so the Ducks Unlimited, where they land, where the Ducks Unlimited land, they're gonna have their barbecue with a fee waived. They're doing a cleanup. We're gonna supply our trailer. They're very conservation minded, and we wanna help out with the cleanup, and they wanna have a snack because we all get hungry.
It's good public service. Trustee Resolution 2025-123, recall and amend Trustee Resolution 2025-104, notice of public hearing for Joe Scrow, 145 Lynn Avenue, New Hampton Bay, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-324-2-28, body of water, Shinnecock Bay, whereas on April 7th, 2025, Trustee Resolution 2025 104 was adopted and read as following. Whereas the Board of Trustees of Freehold Commonalty of the Town of Southampton received a permit application for Joe Scrow for premises located at 145 Lynn Avenue, Hampton Bay, Suffolk County, tax map 930-01-28 to install a 97 feet of armored stone revetment behind the Tova Bluff with 2 8-foot returns. It's proposed to restore the existing bluff to pre-existing natural grade and protect the bluff with 2 row of boulders. First row partially buried, 3 to 4 ton, approximately 70 to 100, 70 to 70 tons. Oh, so sorry about that. Boulders placed on filter fabric, partially buried with 2 feet of sand coverage, and backfill the crushed stone to hold the filter cloth in place. Second row of 1 to 2 ton boulders, approximately 40 tons, to be partially buried in the face of the bluff. And number 3, placed 150 cubic yards of clean fill, bulk of which is to be placed landward of the proposed boulders to avoid movement of the tidal cycles. Beach grass will be planted 12 inches unsanded and above the boulders before the shoreline work starts. All existing brush and retaining wall debris will have to be removed from the area. The existing staircase will be partially removed and replaced over proposed boulders. 7, replace damaged and or missing section up here, 165 feet. So basically, we're looking to do this public hearing.
The reason for the
And,
amendment
and
is,
the tax map number
there
was,
was a scrivener's error.
Scrivener's error to
It's
clean
just to
up.
correct the scrivener's error.
Right,
all right,
so May 19th, 2025, 1 PM,
yep,
public hearing.
so I
So-
recommend,
We're amending the tax map number and the public hearing date because we have to push it back now.
yes.
All right, so I'll second it, all in favor?
All right.
Okay, so the
Thank
public
you.
hearing has been set for May 19th.
All right. Trustee resolution, 2025-124, budget and finance, warrant, number 6, sum of $23,251.64. The register reads as Be Ready Fishbone Hatter, $8,800. Call Ahead, $50. Cold Spring Harbor Fish, $5,000. Charlotte Dickinson, $28. Gov Connection LLC, $883. Joseph R. Lombardo, $4,300. New York State DEC, $300. James Olivo, $2,500. Otis Ford Inc., $37. And PSEGLI, $269.34. Fork Sinclair Fuel Inc., $243.52. Riverhead Building Supplies, $535.64. And WB Mason for $305.14 for a total of $23,251.64. I need to recommend its approval. I need a second.
Seconded, trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to make a motion to walk on a resolution,
Second.
seconded by trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
You want to read this, you want me to read it? Want me to read it, or?
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Trustee Resolution 2025-126 authorizes to perform emergency repairs to the trustee 26-foot barge. Whereas the trustee's maintenance barge, which installs the navigational aids for the town of Southampton, unexpectedly improved due to engine failure, and whereas repair of the marine maintenance barge needed to be addressed due to the threat of public safety caused by the lack of navigational aids, and whereas the repairs met the town procurement policy emergency criteria, therefore waived the competitive bidding process, and now therefore resolved that the trustees hereby authorize Personal Marine Services to remove and replace the barge outboards and rigging controls. The source of the funding shall be the repair equipment SN 99-8790-00-6406-0000 in the amount not to exceed $26,858. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second.
Seconded, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Well, that concludes the standard agenda that we had and the walk-on. Is there any, I know there's been a lot of discussion, is there any additional discussion needed here at the trustees?
I just wanted to, when I was listening to the Ducks Unlimited, I just wanted to thank the Peconic Baykeeper. I couldn't make it. James was there. They filled up a 10-yard dumpster, was it? From the wetlands, from Dune Beach all the way to Road D, basically. So, I mean, that was a pretty good effort.
It's great when people
Pretty
pitch
big
in.
turnout, 25 people or so. So
That's good.
yeah,
Nice to have public assistance on these projects.
Yes, it is.
yeah, covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. It was just a morning kind of meet and greet, and so it was a nice project.
Okay.
Anything else,
Yep.
gentlemen? Are we good?
I'm good for now, thanks.
Good? Okay, so I'll make a motion to adjourn and let everybody get on with their afternoon. Seconded, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, have a great one, everybody.